Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Myself Koustav, and in this video we are going to understand one of the most important concepts in Spring Boot, dependency injection. So if you understand this concept clearly, you will understand how Spring actually manages your application internally. So let's get started. First of all, we will know what is the dependency injection. So dependency injection is basically a design pattern where Spring provides the required objects to a class instead of the class creating them itself. So, in simple words, we can say we don't need to create any objects. Spring by itself creates the object and injects them for us. So, Spring is helping us to reduce our work. Clear? So, what is the problem without DI means the dependency injection? So, let's first understand the problem. In traditional programming, we create objects using the new keyword, like this payment service PS equals to new payment service, order service equals to new order service, like that. So here the class is tightly coupled with its dependency. But in case of that, what was the problem? So this leads to what? First of all, it's tight coupling. What next? It leads to difficult to test. Okay, so difficult to test, and this is less flexible. Less flexibility. So these are the cons. Okay, so this approach is not scalable, so that's why dependency injection involved. And now let's see how Spring solves this problem. So see this annotation, we are using auto word annotation. So auto word, then payment service. So through that, what is happening? So instead of creating the object, here we are not creating the object with the new keyword, right? So here, instead of creating the object, we ask the Spring to inject it. And that's why we are using this auto word annotations. Whenever Spring will see this auto word annotation, it will create its object and will inject it also. So Spring container takes the responsibility of creating the object, managing it, and injecting it wherever it needed. So this makes our application what? Loosely coupled. Through that, loosely coupled. Okay. So that's why it's easy to maintain. So what we got to know? So dependency injection means providing the dependencies from outside the class instead of creating them inside, right? So dependencies will be done via outside, like through the auto word. Then Spring will automatically create its object from the outside. So in the class, we are not creating the object. So now we need to know what are the types of the dependency injections. So there are mainly Spring supports three types: constructor injection, setter injection, and field injection. So let's understand each one. First of all, constructor injection. Here, see that it's best. So this constructor injection is the best one. We always try to use constructor injection. Okay. So see the code here. This order service here, private final payment service automatically it will be auto add. Then inside the order service we are passing this payment service and we are using this. So constructor injection is recommended because it ensures immutability and better testing. So in constructor injection, dependencies are passed through the constructor. Here you can see the class is order service, the constructor is order service, and what we are passing? We are passing this payment service, right? So these dependencies are being passed through the constructor. So this is the most recommended approach. Why? Because it makes the dependency mandatory, it ensures the immutability, and it improves testability, right? That's why constructor injection is best. That question may arrive during your interview. Like, what is the dependency injection? What are the types of dependency injections? What is the most suitable dependency injection? Okay, I hope you will able to answer properly. So, if you are confused in interviews, always say constructor injection is the best practice, right? Okay, let's see about the setter injection. So, what is this setter injection? Here, see, here through the auto add, this set through the set method, okay, of this payment service, we are passing this. Okay, so we will use this when dependency is optional. So when dependency is optional means you can change or update the dependency later. So in that point of case, you can use the setter injection. So when dependencies are optional and you can change your or update your dependency later, okay, in that case you can use the setter injection. And how you can do that? Through the setter method, right? You can do that. Now, what is field injection? Always avoid this field injection. It is not the best practice. Not the best, also not the good. Okay, it's a very poor testability and design issues. Why? So it is the easiest way, but not recommended. What you are doing here in the component through the auto add, just in the order service, you are just auto adding this payment service. So it is hard to test, and it the main point. What problem? The main problem it breaks encapsulation. You know encapsulation? If you don't know, comment out. And if you know, like how I have just made this comment, right? It breaks encapsulation. How it's breaking the encapsulation? You can write in the comment section. Like how it breaking the encapsulation. Okay. So it breaks the encapsulation and it not used in production level code. So in production level code, always you will see this constructor injection, right? Clear? Hmm. So you may say that instead of this, we can use the required constructor, args constructor, this type of one annotations you will see. So by default in the background required args constructor, this constructor injection is being used actually. So when you will use that one, you will just inject that one, right? And after that, this line of code, like this boilerplate codes, will not require. When you will use this at the rate required as constructor on the above of your class. Okay. So this line will be only coffee. Okay. Clear? So see the flow in the Spring. So always the flow will start from the controller, then service layer, then repository. So Spring automatically injects dependencies across the layers. So controller gets service and service gets the repository, all managed by the Spring. So what are the key points? So dependency injection provides loose coupling. Constructor injection is the best. Setter is for optional cases. Field injection should be avoided. And this that it is very easy to implement this field injection, but don't implement this. Okay. So if you want to compare with the real life scenario, then think the dependency injection like ordering food in a restaurant. So you don't cook food yourself. The chef actually prepares it and it is served to you, right? So similarly, you don't need to create the objects. You are just telling Spring to create objects. So Spring will create the object, it will inject the object as well. Okay, clear? So if you understand this, you have mastered a core Spring concept, which is dependency injection, right? So if you found this video helpful, like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more Java and Spring Boot content. Okay, in the next video, we will learn about the qualifier versus primary annotations, how Spring decides which bin to inject. We will learn those. Okay, clear? So all the best. Thank you everyone. Do like, share and subscribe.